I think the big question is, does the sun have private conscious inner life of its own? That there is underlying mental activity as an idealist that applies to everything, the sun, the galaxy, the entire universe. I think the physical universe is a dashboard representation of the mental activity of this one field of subjectivity that nature is, ultimately. So the question is, to what extent is the consciousness of the sun dissociated from its surroundings or autonomous in some way? And these are two different questions. You can have a fairly autonomous mental complex that is not dissociated from its surroundings, but still has some form of individual identity because it's so strongly associated within itself. It starts taking on a kind of individual agency, even though it's not dissociated. My conservative answer, if I'm put on a wall with a gun to my face and somebody would say, if you give me the wrong answer, I will shoot you in the head. My answer would be, no, the sun does not have private conscious inner life the way you and I have. And the reason I would put forward is that I cannot refute the possibility that the sun might have private conscious inner life. I grant that there are indications that are consistent with this hypothesis, but the instances in nature of private conscious inner lives that whose behavior betray the same kind of inner life we have, I would say it's life. Life forms betray private conscious inner life. Even an amoeba or a paramecium, if you look in the microscope, how they go after food, run away from danger, or how amoebas build their little vases with particles of mud they pick up from the bottom, and then they enter those little vases as a little house. Their behavior betrays private conscious inner life. And although life is so varied, when you look under a microscope, everybody's burning ATP. Everybody's doing transcription. Everybody's doing mitosis. Metabolism underlies all life, the most different ones. So I would say nature gives us sufficient reason to extrapolate conscious inner life to all life, but I would hesitate extrapolating that to the sun. That there I wouldn't go that far. But I do think the sun, just as everything else in nature, is an expression of mental activity and maybe even of a strongly individuated mental complex that's not necessarily dissociated from the rest. That's how I would approach it more or less conservatively.
Okay, but then what about the whole cosmos? The entire universe?
I would say the entire universe minus life, because as I said, I think life is what a dissociation in this field of subjectivity looks like. I would say the entire universe minus living beings has a conscious inner life of its own, a unitary conscious inner life, not a metacognitive one, because the speed of light limit prevents re-entrant loops of information integration at a cosmic scale. So you can't have metacognition. It would be a rather spontaneous, very intelligent, but spontaneous, instinctive inner life. But it would be one inner life, I think.